Legend of Yufei Chapter 15.
Yufei, our hero, but not how you might expect. It's this chance encounter that really starts building his forces. How does the story set this up before the war truly begins? So let's picture it. We're not on some grand battlefield yet. It's near Red Lua Mountain. And Yufei stumbles upon, well, a group of martial artists fighting.
Right, and this is where Shi Quan steps in. He stops the fight and instantly recognizes Yufei, killed Prince Liang.
Wow, okay. And the effect is immediate.
Totally immediate. Shi Quan and his four sworn brothers, get this, Zhao Yun with a knife, Zhao uses a spear, Liang Qing has a fork, and Ji King wields this wolf-tooth club. They all just jump off their horses and pay respects right there.
It's quite a scene, this instant loyalty.
It is.
Yeah.
You need to understand their situation. These guys were skilled, but they were basically adrift after that big martial arts competition got disrupted. No purpose, no money. They were actually looking for a leader. And boom, there's Yufei. They decide, right on the spot, to, well, throw their lot in with him.
So they actually moved.
Yeah, they packed up and moved to Tangyin, dedicated themselves completely to studying military strategy, practicing martial arts, all under Yufei. It really shows how charisma and reputation could just pull people together back then.
Okay, so Yufei's gathering this band of skilled warriors in the south. But the story cuts away, doesn't it? Shifts north, far north, to Huanglong Prefecture, the Jurchen Nation, the Great Jin. What's the feeling we get from this shift?
Oh, it's a stark contrast. You've got Yufei building this organic force, and then, bam, you see this huge established empire in the north. Their leader is Wanyan Wuguda, the wolf leader. He's got 5 sons, but the one to watch, really watch, is the 4th prince, Wuzhu. He becomes absolutely key. And Wuguda has advisors like Horichi, the military strategist.
Yeah.
A very established power structure.
And the Jin, they've wanted the Central Plains for a long time, haven't they? This isn't some sudden idea.
No, not at all. Conquering the Song, seizing that flowery world, that's been their goal, their ambition for ages. It's deep-seated.
And Horichi brings back some news that really fuels this fire.
Crucial intelligence. He comes back and reports that the new Southern Song Emperor, Qinzong, is, well, incompetent. He's neglecting everything, surrounded by corrupt officials. And maybe worst of all, he's exiled the loyal people, the ones who might actually defend the empire.
So it wasn't just about the emperor being bad at his job. It was a specific strategic weakness Horichi found.
Exactly. He pointed out the most critical vulnerability. The border defenses were basically empty. No capable defenders to speak of. Horichi essentially tells the wolf leader, look, taking the Song will be quick, easy. Like a one-drum victory, he calls it.
One-drum victory.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that report is what makes the wolf leader decide, okay, time to pick a Sweep the Song Grand Marshal. Time to actually launch this thing.
Right, so how do you pick the guy for that job? The source mentions this really unusual method, a martial arts test, but focused on this ancient treasure, the Iron Dragon. Why test strength like that for a top general?
Well, it really speaks to their culture. You know, raw physical power was hugely valued, especially in a military leader. And this isn't just some statue, it's massive. A legacy from a past king weighs over 1,000 jin. That's, what, well over 1,000 pounds. It's meant to be this ultimate test of might.
And the attempts begin. Princes, generals, soldiers, they all try.
Yep, everyone lines up, and they all fail. Faces bright red, straining. The book says they look like dragonflies shaking a stone pillar.
Aha! That's a great image.
Isn't it? Just totally futile. And you can just picture the wolf leader watching all this, getting more and more frustrated. He's practically tearing his hair out.
Okay, so everyone's failed. The leader's furious. And this is where it gets really interesting. Wuzhu steps up, and his description is intense. Face look, charcoal, dark hair, fierce look, tall, built like a god of war almost. He says he can lift it.
He does. But his father, the wolf leader, his reaction is just shocking. He doesn't say, go on, son. He orders Wuzhu seized and executed immediately.
Yeah. Wait, what? Execute him? Why? He just complained nobody was strong enough. Why execute his own son for claiming he's strong enough? That seems backwards.
It is backwards. But here's the twist. Wuzhu, even though he's Jurchen, he really admired Southern Song culture. He apparently even wore their clothes sometimes.
Yeah.
And this drove his father mad. So in that moment of peak frustration, seeing his son step forward, the wolf leader didn't see strength. He saw, I guess, arrogance. Disrespect for Jin ways. It blinded him.
Wow, personal feelings getting in the way of a major strategic need.
Exactly. But then Horichi, the advisor, jumps in, makes a calculated move.
What does he say?
He argues, pretty reasonably, look, let him try. If he fails, then execute him. But give him the chance. He saw Wuzhu's potential, even if the father couldn't.
So Horichi saves him, basically.
For the moment, yes. And get this detail. Wuzhu, before he tries, he secretly prays. He basically says, if I'm destined to conquer the song, let me lift this. If not, let me die right here. It's this huge personal gamble on his destiny.
Okay, the tension must have been incredible. And then?
Yeah. Wuzhu steps up and lifts this massive iron dragon, not once, but 3 times, then just sort of tosses it aside.
Whoa! The reaction.
Just imagine, huge cheers, applause, everyone's stunned, total vindication, and the result is instant. No more talk of execution. Wuzhu is immediately named Prince of Changping, and crucially, Sweep the South Grand Marshal.
Just
like that. And he's given command of this enormous army, 500,000 troops, pulled together from 6 nations and 3 rivers, all under Jin control. It shows you the sheer power the Jin could muster.
An incredible turn of events. So Wuzhu now has his army. What happens next?
Preparations. He performs the sacrifices, including to the Pearl Treasure Cloud Banner. That's a really important Jin military symbol, kind of invoking divine favor for the campaign.
Right, the ritual side of things.
Exactly. And then they depart. The description of the army is just immense. Men like tigers, horses like dragons, flags blotting out the sun, drums thundering. It's painted as this absolutely overwhelming force of nature heading south.
And they're bearing down on the first really key pass into southern Song territory, a place called Luanzhou. When they're spotted, they're only 100 lanes away.
100 line.
Yeah.
So what's that roughly? About 30 miles?
Yeah, just over 30 miles, practically on the doorstep.
Which just instantly highlights the urgency, doesn't it? The news hits, and boom, the clock is ticking. For the defending general, Lu Deng, this huge force is almost there.
Exactly. And this is where we meet Lu Deng. The really remarkable thing, he's got this nickname, Little Zhuge. He's the governor, the Jidushi of Luanzhou.
Right, and that nickname, Little Zhuge, I mean, that immediately tells you something huge. It signals he's known for brilliant strategy, like Zhuge Liang, right, the legendary strategist from the Three Kingdoms period. Zhuge Liang was famous for, unconventional stuff, psychological warfare, tricks, turning weaknesses into strengths. So calling Lu Deng Little Zhuge sets up these massive expectations. He's not just going to fight, he's going to outthink them ingeniously.
We also get a little glimpse into his personal life. He's got a wife, Lady Shi, and a 3-year-old son. He's a seasoned song general, but here's the kicker. He only has 5,000 soldiers.
5,000. Against 500,000.
Yeah. So what does that mean for Lu Deng facing these, just impossible odds? Does he panic? Nope. He springs into action. And his preparations are incredibly detailed and, kind of bizarre.
Which brings up the big question. How do you defend against that? What can you even do? And Lu Deng's strategy, it's multi-layered right from the start. He's thinking psychology as much as physical defense.
First thing, he orders all the citizens living outside the city walls to move inside. And their houses demolished.
Demolished their own homes. Why?
Well, what do you think?
Denying the enemy shelter. Resources.
Exactly. Classic scorched earth. But the text suggests he promised to rebuild later.
Okay, so it shows some care for his people, too, even while making this tough call. Thinking long-term, even in a crisis.
Right. So citizens are inside, houses gone. Then Lu Deng gets to the real core of his plan. And this is where things get, sticky. He tells his officers, buy ceramic jars, one for every single battlement on the city wall.
Yeah.
And get wooden covers made for them. And then on the walls, for every 5 battlements, build 3 stores.
Stores on the walls, okay. He's setting up like a production line for something specific.
Yeah.
And probably unpleasant.
You got it. He orders the manufacture of 1,000 dung buckets to be filled with human excrement.
1,000. Okay. Yep. Unpleasant confirmed.
And it doesn't stop there. He gets 10,000 bamboo tubes, described as bowl thick, 10,000 smaller bamboo tubes, and over 10,000 caddies of cotton and rags. Remember, a caddie's over a pound, so tons of this stuff, all to be made into something called jitong. The source says they're like bamboo pumps or siphons.
Right. For spraying. So weaponizing ways, like really weaponizing it.
Totally. They grab thousands of barrels of poison from the treasury.
Poison, too. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Mix it with the human excrement, heat the whole disgusting mess up in pots on those stoves they built.
Okay.
And then pour it into the ceramic jars.
So the goal is to pour boiling, poisoned dung onto the attackers.
Exactly. The source is explicit. It says, and I'm quoting the translation here, if the barbarian soldiers are stuck with this excrement, they will rot to death instantly.
Barbarian soldiers. Right? That's the term from the novel for the Jin forces. Reflects the viewpoint of the time.
Yeah.
But wow, rot to death instantly. That's horrifyingly effective. biologically and psychologically. Imagine being attacked with that.
Seriously. And beyond the biological warfare aspect, he's thorough. He lowers the 1,000 caddy gate at the water past this massive gate, seals it off, and he has blacksmiths forge iron hooks using steel from the treasury. These hooks get attached to nets, and they spread the nets over the city walls at night.
Ah, to stop climbers.
Yeah.
Anti-scaling measures, so he's covering all the bases.
Yeah.
Ground assault, scaling the walls, even this early, nasty form of chemical or biological warfare, closing every door.
Right. And with all these meticulous, frankly, genius preparations in place, he feels secure enough to send out urgent messages. Pleas for reinforcements go to the capital, Baiyanalang, and also to other generals nearby Han Shizong at Two Wolves Pass, Zhang Shui at Hejin Prefecture.
Because he knows Luanzu isn't just about Luanzu, if it falls.
The capital itself could be next. He's worried about the bigger picture. And the text says he's personally overseeing everything, day and night, total dedication. There's even this great couplet in the novel that captures his mindset. Yep. Hey, how does that translate again? Roughly. Set up traps to catch tigers and leopards, arrange iron nets to catch dragons.
Wow. Talk about determination. He sees the enemy as these powerful beasts, and he's ready with his traps.
So everything's ready, the traps are set. And then the moment arrives. Wuzhu's massive army finally sets up camp, about 50 lined out, so maybe 15, 20 miles.
Close enough to see, close enough to feel the pressure.
And what does Lu Deng see from the walls? What does the garrison see?
The description in the novel is just chilling.
Yeah.
Pure psychological warfare in written form. Imagine this. Strange mist fills the sky, yellow sand rises everywhere. You hear it too. Thumping camel drums, wailing barbarian horns. It's meant to create this atmosphere of dread.
And the soldiers themselves and their weapons, it's almost over the top. Fantastical. Steel whips, iron rods, wolf-tooth clubs, silver hammers, painted halberds, tiger head shields. And the soldiers, described with blue-green faces, scarlet hair, gaping lips, baring teeth, or maybe hammered heads, brush-like eyebrows, bulging eyes.
This grotesque and ferocious imagery.
Yeah. They wear Persian hats, oxhide armor, they've got pheasant tails stuck in the back of their heads. Even their horses have fringes on their necks. It's an alien, terrifying spectacle.
It's completely overwhelming, designed, like you said, to demoralize, to crush their spirit before the fighting even starts. There's a poem too, right?
Yeah, rolling dust rises from the ground, surging killing intent covers the sky. Just paints this picture of unstoppable doom.
So, understandably, the song soldiers on the wall, they're terrified.
Totally terrified. Some apparently even want to just charge out right then and there.
A sort of desperate bravery, maybe? Or just panic?
Could be either. But here, this is where Lu Deng really earns that little Zuji nickname. Despite the fear, the panic among his own men, the sheer terror filling the air, what does he decide? It's such a critical leadership moment.
Right. And he doesn't give in to the panic or the pressure. This really gets to the core of battlefield psychology and good leadership. He basically says, hold on. Their morale is sky high right now. Attacking them now would be suicide. His order is clear. We should only defend, and wait for reinforcements.
Such calm, analytical thinking under that kind of pressure.
Exactly. It shows incredible strategic patience, resisting that urge to just do something, anything, and instead choosing the strategically sound, though perhaps frustrating, option. Wait. Discipline.
Prince Wuzhu, he's the fourth prince of the Jin, he actually asks his advisor, Hami-Chi, about the guy defending Luanzu.
He wants to know who he's up against.
Precisely. And the information he gets back is, well, it's crucial. Lu Deng isn't just a commander, he's the section commissioner.
Which means he holds significant power in that region, right?
Yeah.
Admin, military.
Exactly. And then there's the nickname, Little Zuge.
Wow. Okay, so for anyone listening, Zhu Liang is the legendary strategist in Chinese history. Calling someone Little Zuge that's a massive statement.
It is, and the intel also says he's extremely skilled in warfare, and this is important. The Song Dynasty's foremost loyal official.
So, skilled and loyal. What does Wuzhu do with that intel? How does that reputation shape his first move?
Well, that's what's so interesting. His reaction is immediate. He doesn't send a general. He doesn't plan some complex siege right away.
Yeah.
He decides to go and meet him himself, personally.
Really? Just rides out?
Well, he takes 5,000 men with him for backup, a show of force. But the text makes it clear the meeting, the confrontation itself, is meant to be between him and Lu Deng. Alone, face-to-face initially.
So that intel, that Little Zuge reputation, it actually makes Wuzhu cautious.
Yeah.
Or maybe respectful.
I think it's a mix. It definitely raises the stakes. Wuzhu realizes this isn't just some run-of-the-mill garrison commander. There's already a layer of psychological assessment happening before they even see each other.
And when they do see each other,
Oh.
the description of Wuzu's arrival is something else.
Oh, absolutely. Pure spectacle. You have trumpets blowing, leather drums beating. It's a grand entrance.
And Wuzu himself, get this picture. He's got a golden inlaid elephant trunk helmet, glinting gold, 2 pheasant tails fluttering on top.
Very elaborate.
Then a large red brocade embroidered robe over golden dragon scale armor. Even his horse is described a 4-hoofed fire dragon steed, and his weapon, a gold sparrow axe with a chai tail and phoenix head.
I mean, the description basically paints him as this larger-than-life figure, like a force of nature.
Yeah, the text says he looked like a mountain-splitting strongman, or even a world-mixing demon king. It feels like pure intimidation. He's trying to win just by showing up looking like that.
And that's a valid tactic, isn't it? Projecting overwhelming power. It's psychological warfare 101. But then you get Lu Deng's appearance.
Which is also striking, but totally different.
Completely different dynamic. He came down from the city, grabs his spear, mounts his horse, then he orders the city gates open and the drawbridge lowered. He rides out alone.
Just him, facing those 5,000 men and the Demon King.
Just him initially at the drawbridge, yes. And he's got his own impressive gear. A large red top-knot copper helmet, linked chain, golden armor. He's got arrows, a bow. He looks the part of a serious warrior.
Ready for business.
Definitely. And there's this interesting line where Wuzhu sees him and thinks to himself, indeed, a Central Plains figure is truly different.
What do you think that means? Different how?
Maybe it's the bearing, the composure, facing overwhelming odds alone. It suggests Wuzhu recognizes a different kind of strength or presence in Lu Deng, something distinct from his own overt display of power.
So these appearances, they're not just descriptions. They establish the character and the stakes before a word is spoken.
Absolutely. 2 formidable figures projecting power in different ways. The stage is set.
Okay, so they're facing each other.
Yeah.
You'd expect an immediate clash, right? Axe versus spear.
You would. But Wuzhu does something unexpected. He tries talking first. Persuasion.
Really? After that whole entrance?
Yeah. He makes Lu Deng a pretty bold offer. He says basically, surrender to my side, join me, and I'll make you a king. A king's title.
That's a huge offer. Why? And how does he justify it?
Well, he launches into this whole argument justifying the Jin invasion. He claims the Song Emperor is tyrannical, that he uses unwise and corrupt officials, wastes money on great public works.
Standard conqueror's rhetoric, maybe. We're here to liberate you.
Pretty much. He says there's heaven and popular discontent with Song rule, and positions his army, the Jin army, as a righteous army here to save the people.
So he's trying to win Lu Deng over ideologically, not just offering him power. It's interesting he thinks that might work on someone known as the foremost loyal official.
It shows Wuzhu is trying different angles. Maybe testing Lu Deng's loyalty, or perhaps genuinely believing his own propaganda, or maybe just seeing if a shortcut exists before bloodshed.
Right.
And we should be clear here, for everyone listening, we're just relaying the arguments as presented in the text. We're not saying whether these claims about the Song Emperor were true or not.
Right, just reporting what the source says Wuzhu argued. So how does Lu Deng, the little Zhuge, the loyal official, respond to this offer and this justification?
Predictably. With fury, he completely rejects it. No hesitation.
He doesn't even consider the kingship.
Not for a second. He fires back with his own arguments. He talks about the North-South division, basically saying, you belong up there, we belong down here, stay on your side.
So an argument based on established borders and sovereignty.
Exactly. He emphasizes each guarding their own borders. Then he defends the Song Emperor, framing his rule not as tyranny, but as benevolence, even saying the emperor is kind for sparing such ugly creatures, meaning Wuzhu and his invaders, and choosing not to wield weapons against them until provoked.
Ouch. Calling the invaders ugly creatures, that's sharp.
It is. And he condemns Wuzhu's army as a nameless army, meaning it has no legitimate reason, no just cause for offending our borders and troubling our forces.
So it's a total rejection, not just of the offer, but of Wuzhu's entire justification for being there.
Absolutely. It's a clash of worldviews. Sovereignty versus invasion, loyalty versus opportunism, perceived justice versus perceived aggression. The war of words is intense.
Okay, so talking failed spectacularly. What happens next?
Well, the inevitable. Words give way to weapons. Lu Deng is enraged. He doesn't wait. He charges Wuzhu, piercing with a spear.
Saving the initiative.
Yep, and Wuzhu is ready. He counters, lifting his golden sparrow axe. They clash.
The moment we were expecting. How does the fight go? Is it epic?
Actually, no, it's surprisingly short. The text says, after only 5 or 6 rounds of combat,
That's it.
that's it. Lu Deng finds he could not parry Wuzhu's attacks effectively. He's clearly outmatched in terms of pure martial skill or strength right there.
So Wuzhu is the stronger warrior.
In this direct fight, yes. Lu Deng realizes he can't win this way, so he had no choice but to turn his horse and flee back towards the city gates.
Just runs. After all that defiance.
He retreats strategically. But here's where the little Zhuge reputation comes back into play. It's not just a panic flight.
Ah, okay. What does he do?
As he's retreating, knowing Wuzhu might pursue him, he thinks fast. He shouted loudly, "Fire the cannons from the city!"
Cannons. Did they actually have cannons ready to fire?
We don't know. The text doesn't say they fired. It just says he shouted the command, and the effect is immediate.
What happens?
Wuzhu hears the command, presumably sees Lu Deng galloping towards the safety of the walls, and likely thinks, cannons, maybe an ambush, just like he might have suspected earlier. So Wuzhu instantly turns his horse and leaves. He doesn't pursue.
Wow. So the shout itself was the weapon. A bluff.
Exactly. A brilliant piece of quick thinking. It allows Lu Deng to reach the city gates, where the drawbridge is quickly lowered again, and he gets back inside safely.
That's incredibly clever. Using Wuzhu's own caution, maybe his respect for little Zhuge's reputation for tricks, against him.
Precisely. He played on Wuzhu's expectation of cunning.
So the immediate danger is over for Lu Deng. What about back in Wuzhu's camp? What's the debrief like?
Well, his military advisor, Hami Chi again, basically asks the obvious question, hey, why didn't you chase him down? He was running.
Yeah, good question. Why let him get away?
And Wuzhu's answer reveals just how astute he actually is. He explains his thinking. He says he was suspicious from the start when Lu Deng rode out alone.
He thought it might be a trap.
Yes. He suspected there might be an ambush prepared. Riding out alone felt too risky, too deliberate for a commander reputed to be clever.
So Lu Deng's reputation worked both for and against him there. It made Wuzhu wary.
Right. And then Wuzhu says, the shout for cannon fire just seemed to confirm his suspicions. It reinforced the idea that chasing Lu Deng towards the city walls was exactly what Lu Deng wanted him to do, leading him into a trap. So pursuit felt too dangerous.
He didn't want to risk his main force or himself for one retreating commander, even if he had the upper hand momentarily.
Exactly. He assessed the risk based on his opponent's reputation and the sudden threat of cannons, and decided caution was better.
And what about Lu Deng? Back inside the city, what does he tell his own people?
He also shows strategic awareness. He advises his generals to carefully hold the city, don't get complacent, and crucially, he tells them not underestimate him, meaning Wuzhu.
So even though he outsmarted Wuzhu with the bluff, he recognizes Wuzhu's strength and intelligence too.
Absolutely. There's this mutual, maybe grudging respect beneath the conflict. Both commanders analyze the situation. They understand their opponent's strengths, Wuzhu's martial power and caution, Lu Deng's cunning and loyalty. They're both playing high-level chess, not just checkers.
It really highlights that strategic thinking isn't just about planning your own moves, but understanding and maybe even respecting your opponent's capabilities.
Couldn't agree more. Wuzhu was getting seriously frustrated. The text actually says Lu Deng just hung up a no-challenge sign.
A sign, really.
Yeah, a wujia it's called. Hung it on the city walls and basically refused to fight conventionally for over half a month.
Wow. Half a month of just waiting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This total non-response strategy, it just made Wuzhu incredibly impatient. It completely messed up his whole offensive plan.
And we see that impatience trip up generals all the time in these accounts, don't we?
We do. It can be fatal.
Yeah.
So Wuzhu, his patience totally gone. He finally decides, right, force the issue.
Okay, so what does he do?
He orders his general, Wu Gulong and Wu Guhu, to get ready for what he thinks will be the killer blow.
Which is?
Building these really formidable cloud ladders, they're called.
The classic siege ladders.
Right. And then he sends 5,000 troops forward, led by Sanyuan Shuayan Timujena. That's the vanguard for this assault.
5,000. That's a serious force.
It is. And these cloud ladders, they were pretty clever. Use them to bridge the moat first, get the troops across.
Right, cross the moat.
And then they raise them up against the actual city walls.
Okay, the attack is on.
But Wuzhu, from where he's watching, he sees nothing. No activity on the walls, just silence.
Uh-oh. That sounds ominous.
Well, he didn't think so. He completely misread it. He assumed Lu Deng had maybe fled, that they'd given up. He got really overconfident.
Big mistake.
Huge. Because just as Wuzhu's thinking, victory's here, a cannon blast just rips through the air.
The signal.
Exactly. Signaling the start of this truly shocking defense. Imagine this. Suddenly, rolling feces just starts pouring down from the city walls.
Wait, rolling feces, like actual waste.
The text is pretty clear, yeah. It was some kind of horrifying mixture, and the effect was immediate. Deadly.
Oh, deadly.
Soldiers just falling off the ladders. The text says they died instantly, gruesomely, just on contact.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's horrific.
Wuzhu was, as you can imagine, completely bewildered, stunned. His advisor, Hamichi, had to explain it.
Explain that.
Yeah, Hamichi says this is Lu Deng's lazi. The text implies it's either some incredibly potent corrosive or maybe a super fast-acting poison mixed in.
So it wasn't just gross, it was lethal.
Lethal. The horror wasn't just the weapon itself, but how completely unexpected, almost ritualistic it felt.
I can't even imagine the panic in the ranks.
Yeah.
Wuzhu must have been absolutely shocked.
Ordered the retreat immediately, pulled his vanguard back fast.
A smart move, finally.
But what's really fascinating right after this is Lu Deng's follow-up, shows his mindset.
What do you do?
Instantly, he orders his soldiers, first, collect the heads of the dead enemy soldiers.
Perfect.
Very. But then pragmatically, he tells them to break apart the captured cloud ladders.
Okay, destroy the enemy equipment.
And not just destroy, break them down to prepare more of the rolling feces.
He's recycling the ladders into ammunition.
Essentially, yeah. Actively replenishing his unique, devastating weapon supply. It's chillingly efficient.
Okay, so Wuzu's first big push is a horrifying failure. He must be rethinking things.
Definitely. He consults with Hamichi again. They need a new plan. And they adapt.
How?
They figure, okay, the problem was seeing this stuff coming down, so attack at night.
Use the darkness as cover.
Exactly. Attack under the cover of night, hoping it would protect the troops from the rolling horror, give them a safe approach.
Makes sense tactically, I suppose. Avoid the known threat.
So Wuzhu modifies the strategy, attacks again at dusk, another 5,000 soldiers.
Same number of troops?
Yep, same number, using cloud ladders again. And he's feeling confident this time. No city lights visible, looks like an easy infiltration, stealthy victory.
But Lu Deng, you just know he's got something else planned.
Oh, absolutely. Another even more cunning surprise waiting in that darkness.
So Wuzu's watching from below.
Yeah, watching. Totally convinced his soldiers are climbing up, slipping into the city unseen. He's expecting victory any second.
And then...
Another cannon blast echoes out.
Not again.
And instantly, the city walls just burst into light. Lanterns, torches, everywhere, like daylight all of a sudden.
Whoa, so much for stealth.
Exactly. And what happens next is just horrific. Immediately, the heads of Wuzu's soldiers start getting thrown down from the walls.
Thrown down? They were already caught.
Instantly. Hamichi, the advisor, he's just bewildered again. He can't figure out this new trap.
So what was it this time? No more rolling feces?
No, something different. It turns out Lu Deng had this ingenious hidden defense set up, bamboo poles,
Okay.
supporting these big silk nets, the text calls them.
Nets, like to catch them.
Nets lined with barbed hooks,
Come.
like hooks facing downwards, inwards.
Oh, nasty.
And these nets were suspended just over the top edge of the city wall, hidden in the dark.
So the soldiers climbing up couldn't see them.
Exactly. Climbing in the dark, expecting solid footing, they stepped right into these hooked nets.
And were just trapped and
Armed.
killed.
Trapped and slaughtered. If you connect this to the bigger picture, it's a masterclass.
How so?
It's psychological warfare, yes, but combined with brilliant, simple engineering. He didn't just counter the night attack, he completely turned Wuzu's perceived advantage, the darkness, into the mechanism of the trap itself.
Using the enemy's own assumptions against them.
Perfectly. It shows that sometimes the best trap is built from what your enemy thinks is their strength. Utterly brilliant, in a terrifying way.
Absolutely. Lu Deng wasn't just fighting a battle, he was playing the opponent's mind. Wuzu's despair at this point. It must have been overwhelming.
Oh, immense. The source says after more than 40 days of this siege, 40 days, he'd lost countless soldiers, gained nothing. He was utterly devastated, broken, really.
40 days of failure and horror.
Yeah. Seeing Wuzhu in such a terrible state, Hamichi, his advisor, tries to, cheer him up.
More battle plans.
No, actually, he suggests a hunting trip. Get away, clear his head. Maybe a change of scenery would help lift his spirits.
A hunting trip. In the middle of a disastrous siege.
Sounds odd, but maybe desperation, or just trying anything to snap Wuzhu out of it.
Okay, so they go hunting.
They do. But the hunt takes this really unexpected turn. While they're out there, deep in the forest, they spot a man hiding, just lurking in the trees.
Suspicious.
Hamichi immediately thinks, spy? His instinct kicks in.
Okay, could be one of Lu Deng's men.
That's the immediate thought. So Wuzhu, maybe seeing a chance to finally get some kind of advantage, orders the man captured.
Right, grab him.
They bring the man before him, and Wuzhu threatens him with a sword, demands information, talk or else.
Okay, so what does this all mean? Finding some random guy in the woods.
Yeah.
How does this change things for Wuzhu and Lu Deng?
Well, it's not just random, is it? This encounter, it completely shifts the dynamic. We're moving away from the battlefield horrors, the direct clashes.
And into
the hidden world. Intelligence, maybe betrayal. Information becomes the new weapon.
Right, after weeks of stalemate and these awful traps, the focus just pivots entirely.
It really does. This seemingly small event, finding this one person, it's actually the hinge. The whole rest of the story is going to turn on this moment.
It shows how even these massive military struggles can just be upended by one piece of information.
Yeah.
Or maybe a confession.
Exactly. And the source material, it leaves us right here with this incredibly tantalizing bit of foreshadowing.
What does it say?
It says, because of what this person said, there will be a daring military advisor who has his nose cut off and a loyal general who cuts off his own head.
Whoa! Okay, that's intense.
It is. And then it just asks, but what did that person say?
A total cliffhanger.
A perfect cliffhanger.
Yeah.